There's no such thing as stealing another culture. Wearing another culture's clothing does not mean you are stealing it, and everyone should be allowed to wear it. This is just responding to the numerous Twitter posts I've seen about how people are stealing black culture by wearing hypebeast stuff, braiding their hair, etc. Of course, no one should wear another culture's traditional clothing mockingly, but in most cases, people wear it because they think it's beautiful, but they are attacked on social media for stealing another culture. Probably gonna get downvoted into oblivion, but my Chinese relatives and I, as well as every person from Asia I have talked to, are very happy and couldn't care less when we see people wearing and appreciating Cheongsam/other traditional clothing. Edit 1, Grammar. Edit 2, both the Asians in America and the people from Asia I know are okay with this. The Asians who truly experienced racism here are Asian immigrants in the late 1800s to the ones who are now in their 70s. All of them I know, many of which are my relatives, are fine with this. The Asian American students who complain about this have not experienced the brutal treatment their immigrant ancestors did. Furthermore, since our nation was racist before, we should be glad that people have moved on and are appreciating other cultures. Let's not be stuck in the past and gatekeep cultures out of spite. Edit 3, to everyone commenting about the London Museum with stolen artifacts, they might have stolen these items that represent particular cultures, however, it does not mean they stole the culture itself. For example, a thief can steal my Cheongsam, but it does not mean they stole my Chinese culture away from me. I would be honored if someone wore my culture's traditional clothing around me. As a Findao, I'm not even sure what that is. I'm torn between only underwear in a public park and a beer in hand and naked with a beer in hand. I'm perfectly fine with people saying you shouldn't steal hypebeast culture because that shit is fucking stupid. Many of the culture around the world are just other culture with a touch of their own. Reminder, Kim Kardashian tried to trademark kimono. Granted, this is perhaps the most extreme level stupidity that a person can reach, but the fact remains that it was attempted. I think it's hit and miss. Especially since cultures borrow from each other. Mariachi music has German roots. Tempura is Portuguese but loved in Japan. Can't have rock without thanking Hawaiians and black community. Oh, like chocolate? Thank South America. Politics is a culture toilet bowl. Oof. Remember the woke Chinese American said my culture is not your prom dress to the white lady wearing Chinese dress to the prom? The average Chinese have nothing against it and said the lady is beautiful wearing it. If that's the case, we Chinese are stealing Western culture since we wear shirt and suit, we even call suit Western outfit in Chinese. I swear Asian American is trying to be more Asian than Asian when they probably never visit the country/speak the language. I agree 100%. I'm Mexican American and I feel a bit proud and happy when I see people enjoying and appreciating my culture. As long as they don't do it mockingly, I'm perfectly fine with people wearing traditional Mexican clothes. People have taken cultural appropriation too far, telling people they can't wear clothes of another culture and dictating who can and cannot wear it. Literally, in my class a few months ago, a half black half Mexican person told a half white half Mexican person they couldn't wear traditional Mexican clothing because they didn't look Hispanic expressionless face. There's a thin line between appropriation and appreciation. I'm Indonesian and I love when people eat our food or wear our clothes, but I hate when people use native tribal ethnic designs as an overpriced aesthetic piece. The idea of cultural appropriation is a backwards way of supporting segregation. You stay in your culture, I'll stay in mine. I think it's only stealing when you use something from somebody else's culture for profit, without at least giving credit where it's due. But also understand people are gonna stumble onto stuff they like and not realize where it's from. I think intention is a big part of the equation. Yes. Cultural appropriation does exist, but it is greatly exaggerated. I'm Italian American and I enjoy when I see non-Italians making/eating Italian food and doing Italian traditions, and I enjoy a few non-Italian things too. I'm not mocking their culture, I'm appreciating it. If you get offended by that, you are very pretentious and gatekeeping things that everyone can enjoy. It also effectively is racist, as the argument boils down to I can do this because I am X race or Y culture and you can't because you're not. And don't even get me started on the people who get offended and aren't even in the culture being represented. Again, it can be rude to mock cultures, but many take appreciating a culture as appropriating it. I was raised in China, but I'm white and my II bought me a gorgeous kipao and saved up and sent it to me. The one time I wore it out to a fancy dinner with my husband, we were berated for cultural appropriation. My husband is Persian. I participate in Persian events, decorated our house with Persian art/aesthetics, am learning Farsi, cook Persian dishes, and more. It makes my husband really happy that I'm working to learn about and integrate his culture into our lives. However, some of my white friends have told me that doing such things was appropriating his culture. I have literally no answer to this kind of thing because he genuinely wants me to do these things. Recently, he posted a video of me practicing Farsi and it got more likes and comments from his Iranian friends than the post about our wedding, all excited that I was trying to learn their language. I've tried to explain cultural appropriation to my husband and he still doesn't get it. Some things he will ask me to do, I won't do because I fear it will be considered racist. For instance, he asked me to sing a song in Farsi for his Instagram and he's asked me to talk at Persian events before. He always says that if he, as a Persian, is asking me to do these things then it's not considered appropriation. Regardless, I do try to be very careful, but I do hate disappointing him when I tell him I can't do something because of cultural appropriation. Exactly. My Indian mom loves seeing people of any descent wearing our style of clothing. As long as you aren't trying to be rude, it should be okay. Why are you speaking English? Are you an English person? Half the stuff we sell to tourists visiting Scotland is tartan and kilts. No one is complaining that our culture is being stolen. It's never about culture or respect. It's about those control freaks getting high on telling people what to do and not to do. I agree, mainly due to the hypocrisy of this cultural appropriation bullshit. Imagine if Hode people were to be angry over people wearing suits. As another Chinese American, I have to somewhat disagree. I've been in uncomfortable situations where I've been to an Asian themed party and had white people dress up in full Fu Manchu and trying Asian accents. They thought it was okay to do it in my dad's Chinese restaurant. These are older middle-aged white women, by the way. Then we have this, https://www. YouTube.com/watch, v equals kgss1pdkmgq. If it's true appreciation, then yeah, I get yeah. But if it's for likes, social status, or to perpetuate unhealthy stereotypes, then it's wrong. A YouTube my fiancé watches, Sarah's Day I think, recently came under fire for a clothing promotion she was doing with White Fox Boutique. For the campaign video, she had long Dutch braids. Apparently, people commented to her, saying that she was appropriating black culture by having long braids. She had to take down her entire campaign because so many people said she was disrespecting black culture and stealing it. Even if braids were exclusive to black culture, I agree that there's nothing wrong with wearing things of a different cultural background.